Give it up for Steve Girardet, ladies and gentlemen. Give it for our host, Patrick. I dressed myself today.
Woohoo!
Shorts and a blazer.
We know this is a big achievement.
Thank you. So I'll start by, I'll tell you guys a little bit about myself, because I don't know you. My name's Steve. I'm from Brantford. I forget things about myself a lot. I like music. I play music. I do comedy. I enjoy doing comedy. I'm a single mom. I enjoy a good glass of Pinot after a long day of watching the kids. I have Tourette's. Yeah. Woo. I kind of got the short end of the stick on the Tourette's thing. Like, I don't swear. I know you guys are like, fuck yeah, that's what we paid for. Like, yeah, fuck shit, fuck. No, I don't do that. All I do is this.
Yeah, baby.
So I get a sore neck and an occasional thing of whiplash. Like soft whiplash. And I got, you won't believe this, but I was a rare case. I got diagnosed when I was 18. And I went to the doctor, and this is how I was diagnosed. So you have Tourette's, right? You went through 8 years of medical school, and that's how you decide to diagnose me? Asshole. I tell people I'm an advocate for Tourette's, but I'm really not, because there's not even a foundation for us. They're like, let's just sweep this disease under the rug. It doesn't really matter that much. They just swear, and we'll just pretend like they're on drugs and like criminals and shit. But there's pros and there's cons to Tourette's. There's probably more pros. Sorry, there's probably more cons than pros. The cons, I don't think I could possibly walk through a mall with any hot beverage without getting at least minimum second-degree burns. I fish a lot, and putting a worm on a hook is pretty dangerous. I recently started shaving at the age of 21, so shaving my neck is pretty dangerous. I think it should be in the next year's X Games, because I feel like it's an extreme sport. Here comes Steve Girardet, he's going to shave his neck. Okay, if he pulls this off without slitting his jugular, he will be this year's champion. Okay, he's dead. On to the next champion. So, I recently went through my first breakup. Pause. Aww. Exactly. And you find yourself doing weird things, right? Like you have to dress yourself.
Aww.
Yeah, exactly. Feel bad for me. You also find yourself doing weird things, like you're in like a candlelit room in your bedroom. You're like crying and you're listening to the song "Yellow" by Coldplay. But like you never really listen to that song with your girlfriend, but like you're crying because they say that the word stars, and stars are beautiful, and so is she. So you get it. And then it gets to that point where it's like, okay, now we kind of have to swap items, right? It's like, all right, you bought me this teddy bear, do you want it back? Like, do you swap gifts, like Christmas and birthday present gifts? Like, do you want this back? Do I keep it? Is it yours? Is it mine? But then the really hard thing is those mutual things you bought, right? Like, it's like okay, you're going through your shirt. Do you want this half bottle of lube? I don't really need it. Or like that deck of like sex position cards. You want to split the deck? Like, we kind of tried them all, but like, I don't know. Guys get it. Girls, eh? Girls. Can't live with them, can't get them to fuck me. But since I broke up with my girlfriend, I had my first rebound. Yeah, I didn't know how to handle that. But she was intense. She was really touchy and grabby, and she, we went out for dinner, and she was touching my penis under the table, and I kind of liked that. But when we got home, it was like, she's like sucking my dick, my penis, and then she's like, your dick feels so good in my mouth. And I'm like, yeah. I like when that happens too, bitch. Like, I'm not really into the whole dirty talk thing. And me and my girlfriend, we didn't break up because we fought. Most people are like, they fight a lot, right? That's why they break up. My girlfriend was a vegetarian, so I had a spot-on way to avoid fights. When I got in a fight and she was like being a complete bitch, I would just kind of go home, and I had steaks in my fridge, and they were called my spite steaks. And I would season up my spite steak, and I would cook it to a good body warm temperature, and I would have sex with that steak. I would cheat on her with the one thing she hated most. Next to that girl she didn't like in high school, but the steak was cheaper. That was mean. That girl's not a whore, she's just slutty. Okay. Anyways, I think there's a lot more vegetarians coming around in the world. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. There's like a lot more health nuts, they're like, let's not eat meat because it's bad. But I really just think it's because of the whole hipster epidemic. I think it's an epidemic. They're fucking everywhere. They're taking over. Thick frame glasses, plaid shirts, and fucking cut off shorts. They're fucking taking over. You can't go to the grocery store without seeing one saying, go to goodness me, it's better. But it is, and this guy gets it because he has a brace on his hand. Okay, so where was I? You threw me off, asshole. Yeah, I don't even know. Okay, so there's so many more hipsters. Yeah, and they're taking over. But I've got a lot of friends who are hipsters because it is an epidemic and there's no cure. Whoops. So, I see on Facebook there's so many fucking hipsters that they post all these Facebook statuses, and they think that they're like teaching you a life lesson because they're hipsters and they think they know everything about everything. But I found a way to be a hipster very easily. You just take a basic life lesson that like your mother taught you when you were a child, and just add Confucius say before that. For example, Confucius say, if you take off your socks before you take off your pants, you will not lose your socks inside of your pants. Confucius say, if you fart and try to cover it up with Febreze, you will only create a worse smell. Confucius said, if you do bad things, you will go to jail, bad boy. It's true, don't do bad things, you'll go to jail. I'm not a religious person really at all. I was raised in a Catholic family. My grandfather was almost a priest. He passed away in October, God rest his soul. I actually recently found out the only thing I inherited from him was his nose hair. But I think that whoever created us, whatever it is, if it's a god, if it's nothing, if we just ended up here, whoever did it kind of fucked up in a few places, right? Mostly in our genitalia regions. Like, for example, the male foreskin kind of looks like it should be foraging for ants in a jungle somewhere. Look, get it? It's like an anteater. Yeah. Or like the female outer labia, like the really big ones, like some refer to them as beef curtains. kind of looks like the side view of a very poorly made lasagna. Or like, we thought it was funny. It was. It's gross though when you interact with one. And well, vaginas are vaginas. Or like they kind of look like a really old turkey's neck. Like just like he's offended by it. Do you have a vagina? He's just like, my girlfriend has beef curtains, asshole. Don't do that. I'm offended. Okay, that's all I got. Have a good night. Give it up for Patrick, our host. Thanks for having me. We got a lot more good comedians.
Keep it going for Steve Germanat, ladies and gentlemen.